edition of JGB. JGB here to flood your timeline. You already know the deal. It's your boy, Aaron. Back at it with another What Remains of Edith Finch gameplay. And I will say, I did not expect to enjoy it this much. I really was expecting this to be a one-time thing. Come in, check it out, and then just get over it. Especially a game that doesn't really have any fighting or action scenes. Really, only only fighting I was able to do was that one scene in that comic book. But I've been thoroughly enjoying it. Like I said, I told you, a story can entrance me very easily. I do like the story. I'm having a great time. I truly believe we have to be. Let's check. I truly believe that we're almost done. People we still have to go over. We still have to go over Gregory, Gus, Dawn, Sam, Milton, Lewis. I always say, it's not Eddie, was it Edie? Eating. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But at least 6 more people, and that's not counting Sven, Sanjay. I haven't even heard of Sanjay. I don't know who Sanjay is, or Kay. I don't know who those are. But, you know what I'm saying? Without further ado, let's get it. I still don't get why there's so many books everywhere. Books in a cave and stuff like that. Like a bunch.
Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter.
Like why? Who goes down here to check these books?
But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding. I don't want to make the same mistakes she made. Trying to bury something that's still alive. Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe 2.
Maybe 2.
I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself.
You see me, I'm not even walking on the tracks. I'm not taking that. I'm not making that mistake.
But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real. Again, look at this. The track is broken. And look at this curve. You're telling me a train was able to make this curve? And where was it going? I don't believe in a family curse. If that stuff like that happened, like there's no reason a train should be there. I don't know if I should even be writing this. Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me.
Foreshadowing?
But I thought you should know about your family.
Oh, she's pregnant.
And the history you're a part of.
So I'm supposed to walk out in the water? Nope. How about this thing? That's about to be a way to go.
Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now. I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth. And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible.
Alright, before we get into this, I'm gonna make my last prediction. Well, not my last, my wild prediction. So what if, like I said, remember I told you hers is the only one that doesn't have an end, has a death date. What if I or Edith dies at the end of this story, and the person reading the book is her child? Alright, that's it. I'm sorry, not this one.
I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house? It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one. 3 of the gerbils are mine, and 2 had been my fault.
Zerpy, Lurpy, Furpy, Chirpy, Burpy, Derpy, and Derpy Jr.
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
Wow, she died 2 days after her birthday. The rocket, the cat, the chainsaw. Well, that's just a saw itself. A book with words. His is just rock. A star. Died on her birthday. Where do I go?
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away. She could see it poking out of the water at low tide. Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night. Edie's side was always easier for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from. Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better.
This person was a year old.
She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us.
Kumar.
We never found Milton's body. So my mom insisted we were putting up a monument, not a tombstone.
$1992. 2 years before I was born.
There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself. But looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant. I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common. They were both pretty intense. Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Am I gonna have to shoot anything?
It's a hunting trip, Dawn. Shooting is strongly encouraged. Perfect.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit. Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are.
You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though.
I'm trying to see something worth... What's something worth taking a picture of? I mean, the scenery itself is amazing, but... It's gotta be something they want me to take a picture of. Yeah, I think. Something in particular.
Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee.
Oh, she said I was gonna take some pictures. Maybe I'm supposed to take multiple.
Nothing quite like being outside. Oop. A little more gas in the tank, I guess.
I swear I'm supposed to take a picture of him using the restroom. I just can't find him. Oh, here you go.
Hold still while I take a picture of you.
I definitely won't be moving.
Are you done yet?
Hey!
That's a keeper.
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Don. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Don, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you a Dad?
Good eyes, Don.
Put your head up. Get your head up one time. Perfect.
Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
Dad, I...
Just breathe. Turn. Let me get behind you.
Do I have to do this?
Don, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive, you'll need to be strong. Now keep yourself squared up. Great shot, Don! I'm proud of you, Don. Always remember that, okay?
Oh, how do I get up there?
Sorry, Don. Just gotta reset the timer.
Go, speed. I am speed. Gotta go fast. Oh, I got trapped. And I'm up here with...
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally
so...
normal, Don. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about...
Dad!
I knew it.
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
So that was Sam. So you still got Lewis, Milton, Gus, Gregory. Dang, Edie. Edie. Got it. I feel bad. I feel like I'm dishonoring her name.
Instead of hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it.
I'm assuming that's the deer that killed him. I'm joking. I'm being rude. I apologize. Oh, respect. Okay. You want me to go back out the way I came? This one? So that's the swing, huh? That my boy, which one was it? So many people. Before I go back down this way, I want to make sure I'm supposed to go back down this way. Because usually when... They don't usually make you go all the way back. It's usually like a secret compartment. So let me check first. Make sure I've checked everything here. I'm just pulling my notes out. Calvin. That was the swing Calvin was on. Here you go, sing. Yeah, I was like, it's not, they're about to make me do all that.
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
Gregory. This one's gonna be tough. Gus is here. Gus, Don, and Greg are all
I can't
here.
imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet...
Four poems.
A poem
8
for
poems.
Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard.
I've never flown a kite in my life. I can see the fun in it though.
My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart.
I look like Charlie Brown messing up this kite. Look, I can't even keep it straight.
I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, we don't need a stepmom were the words that I
I now
remembered.
pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
everything.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined, and as a sign held up his middle finger. The wind picked up, and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent. The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made. The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder."
Hey, the lights light up the forest, that's cool. It's a powerful wind.
I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't, until we found you.
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
Why doesn't Dawn have anything? And that would be a kite. Alright, let's do this. A divorce contract.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it. I think he saw things the rest of us don't.
I don't want to do this.
Over, Gregory. It's time to... Hold on, sweetie. Hello?
I'm not judging anybody's parenting.
Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now.
I wonder what he saw. What his world was like. He reminded me so much of Calvin. lost in his imagination. Whatever it was he saw.
I just see you see the whale watching. Hey, I got
Made
it.
him happy.
Oh, I was trying to jump in the whale's stomach. Ahaha. There we go. Knockout. This is supposed to say gory. That's okay. Gotta get up there. Gotta get there. I'm going for the soap.
I know how silly it sounds. But I worried about a baby being too happy. But I could feel him slipping away.
Sorry about that, Gregory.
I know you did everything you could. Maybe if I hadn't called that night.
Damn it. Hold on, I don't want Gregory to hear this.
I wish he could have told us about the world he saw. There's so much I don't understand about Gregory, about everything. But I know what happened wasn't your fault. I'm sure he's happy. And he'd want you to be happy too. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
Three more. Or four more. Lois, Milton, Dawn, Edie. But Dawn has nothing on her thing. That's the thing about it. What does that say?
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died. At the time, it was as far away as she could get.
This is Dawn's real place. There we go. Yeah, that's a where she. Yeah, that's a whatever.
Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died.
Oh, her mother's Dawn.
She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
helping hands create safe places. Major is English teaching and geology. All I know is Taj Mahal. I don't know what Jod Pun is or Red Fort. I don't know what those are. Orcas Island High School. Immigrations. Don't forget. Visa applications, background check, yada yada yada.
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English.
It's a nice little loft though, like this is a little saucy thing.
Lewis was born a year later.
Are we gonna do John or not? Do we have nothing for Don? Who's going? Okay.
When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go.
Oh, still more Don. She kept trying to get higher and higher.
I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back. The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal.
She homeschooled them.
But it didn't last.
Smartypedia.
The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle. After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
All the way up here? Come on now. And it still goes up. Look at that fire pole. Come on now. That's too much for a young kid. That's too much period for anybody. Which princess trapped in a castle on her. So I'll step on this and pull, huh? That's cool. I'm not gonna lie.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
Well, oh, it's a flip book. Flip bookception. Flipception. That's why they never found his body.
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
It said 2000. They said 2003. It says Lewis and Edie were 2010, and Don was 2016. I didn't even notice. What if we were going in order? Let's see. Who was the first person we found? Oh, it's the first. Have we even... I know we started at the bottom. But I'm trying to think, what if we're going by years? No. Because we found Walter before we found Sam, and Sam is 1983. Walter died 2005, so never mind. And then we found Gregory after Sam, and Gregory's 1977, so never mind. Never mind.
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
This would be his magical realm, right? Knock knock.
Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
Oh, there's an upstairs. Sit here and just look out, right? I'm not gonna lie, they be having the views. Like, they have the, like, this bench would be a nice... No, don't go in. Ah, I didn't even press it.
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room, until Mom got him a job at the cannery. Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
Wow. Wow. This dude. Look, they basically, wait. Can I play video games?
Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together,
Oh.
but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Hmm.
He was so proud of being Indian. I think for him, it was a way to be something other than just a Finch.
Hmm. Exit. Is it sealed? Doesn't look sealed. Very psychedelic, my dude. This guy. Give me one sec. What's this Dawn? Oh, from Lewis.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse.
Mm-hmm.
Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to wander.
Oh, wow. I gotta do both.
I
That's
asked him to
hilarious.
describe it. He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads. And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something more.
Jesus Christ.
I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee.
Because he got the job
Methodical,
done.
tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on. I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend. On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians. songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger.
Well, honestly, I'm distracted.
He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him
But it was a hand.
that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination. So he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor. And he won. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him.
Look, now I'm back up. Now I'm backed up on my work.
He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville.
New Louisville. Already
St.
got one.
Louis. He started drifting
Isn't St.
away
Louis
from
already a
our
place?
reality. Minneapolis. Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Louis kept sailing on.
The mother that you're sending the letter to. You're telling her about a scene, something that she already knows.
In Louisburg, he heard rumors of a
Beautiful prince, a handsome queen.
handsome queen. The queen was on her own quest for
Sinister serpents or radiant rainbows? We're gonna go with rainbows.
radiant rainbows.
So now I'm making the story. That's funny. Checkpoint. Go right now.
He followed the sound of her
Silver harp. Yeah. Electric sitar.
silver harp.
If the job is done, why is fish still coming? Like, shouldn't fish
His
stop?
chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon.
Do I just run into it?
Even then, his logic remained sound. He knew the world was all in his imagination.
I'm backed up now.
But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king.
How you doing, Si? How you doing? How you doing? Good day. Kind of warm out, don't you think? How's the wife, man?
For
Appreciate
someone
you.
who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Louis was not the one chopping salmon,
Obviously.
but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace.
I'm gonna go right. Young lady, why you keep running?
My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
What's the point of the big door?
began to forget the world we know.
I wonder whose locker this is. So much for the whole getting over substance abuse.
I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker. He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
Is that a jersey? Oh, I see where this is going.
I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions.
Appreciate you. I told you, man, you need to go on a diet. Jesus Christ, man. But I appreciate you. I love you, man. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Hey, but you know I just saw your brother over here, right? Crazy. How you doing? You're still coming out.
Insisted on inviting him.
How you doing, man? Good afternoon. How you doing? Welcome. I appreciate your work. I appreciate your work. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service.
His queen waited, holding his crown.
Is that a new spear, my dude? Ah, I see you, man. I told you.
There was only one thing left to do.
How you doing? How you doing? Good day, sir. Nice to meet you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Thank you for your service. What's good? You feel me? Already. Good day. Ooh, I missed one. I'm sorry, sir. I apologize. I'm not trying to disrespect you or anything. I appreciate your service. Thank you. How you doing? Welcome. How you doing? How you doing? Hey! I've always wanted a crown.
And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
We've got everybody but Edie and Don. Huh?
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder.
This keeps getting higher and higher. No pun intended after Lewis.
And why we left. My mom ended up leaving everything behind.
For books, yes.
What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner.
Dang, this family likes
But it
heights.
had to end one way or another. All that's left now is to tell you about that last night. That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
the power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles.
Where's the key?
When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance. Or that Edie had a key to it.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning. Okay?
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born.
A flashback within a flashback.
That night,
Within a
the
flashback?
tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way. I got turned around. I started seeing things. Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them. Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
How do you find it?
Mom, you're gonna rip it. Let go.
I'm not supposed to be pulling it.
I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great Grandma Edie again.
Edie!
The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it. A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it, but she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you and tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way. This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
It took me a minute to figure it out, but I did guess it. I said what was gonna happen, and it happened. When it comes down to it, great story, definitely. No, I appreciate it. It took me a minute, like I said, to figure everything out, put all the pieces together. In these type of stories, you gotta look at all the pictures and books and stuff like that, see what meaning is meaning and stuff like that. But when it came down to it, it was definitely an enjoyable experience. So, I don't know what the next game is, but stay tuned, because you already know JGB gonna flood your timelines. I hope you enjoyed this story. If you did, please comment down below. Let me know what was your favorite part. What was the saddest memory? Who had the saddest memory? Who was your favorite character that we met or talked about or anything like that? Or, you know what I'm saying? If it comes down to it, my favorite probably has to be Barbara, just because I actually got to hit somebody in the face with a crutch. But I'm not gonna lie, the Lewis's whole kingdom thing was pretty fun. But it is what it is. Like, subscribe, hit that little bell. Till next time. Peace.